Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy 30. Back with another video, man. As always, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. We're gonna get right into it. Recap yesterday. We went 2-1 on our we went 2-1 on our NBA picks. I think the one prop didn't go through, it let us down. But on college football, we went 0-2. That's what killed us. We hit one of those, we have a profit day. Bro, I know college football is like, I know the playoffs get crazy, but Texas has no excuse for what they did. I'm not tripping about Ohio State first half. They just went crazy. They went berserk. And then honestly, they didn't really score much for the rest of the game, which was crazy. They just killed our first half bet. But that's how sports betting go. But Texas, I said in the video yesterday, Texas will go up 16, 17 at one point in the game. The key was going to be, could they hold it? And honestly, man, I'm not mad at their defense at all. Whether it was Texas defense stopping ASU or ASU just beating themselves, Texas offense has ample opportunities to bump the lead to 20, 25, maybe even 30. And man, I had a thought yesterday, man. Any other team in the playoffs right now, the way that game went would have ran up 50 points on ASU. Penn State, Ohio State, maybe even Oregon. That's straight facts. Texas, we knew their offense wasn't the best offense in the country, but their defense so elite, you would think that they could muster up 25, 30 points. They couldn't even do that. Then eventually what happens? Even the greatest defense get tired. They almost lost the game. Like, I'm watching the game, like, I hope y'all lose after not covering the spread. Like, it was ridiculous. But went 2-3 yesterday. It's all good. We bounced back today, man. We got some NBA picks, and I got two college football picks for the college games. We're going to bounce back with the college record today. And I got NBA picks with a prop. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. First pick of the day, college football, Notre Dame and Georgia. This game was supposed to happen yesterday, and honestly, man, I didn't bet on it yesterday. But after watching the other games, I kind of knew in the back of my head because I was going to bet. I said, dang, I should have touched Georgia and Notre Dame, but I didn't, and look what happened. But I feel like this is a second chance. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to take Georgia money line yesterday. But just to be even safer, if you can't adjust this line, take a money line. That should be fine. But, you know, we always adjust it. I'm taking Georgia plus 2.5. Meaning that even if they lose, I don't think Notre Dame wins by 3, honestly. Because, you know, Georgia has a lot going on. You know, there's been a lot of rumors and talk about Georgia. They're playing with a backup quarterback. It's just a lot going on. A lot of speculation with Georgia. But I just don't see Kirby Smith, like the experience, the championship wisdom, the championship pedigree. I'm an Alabama guy, and I just know what it takes. Like, when you build that foundation at a school, whether it's Georgia, whether it's Florida in the early 2000s or whatever, when you build that foundation, it sticks with them through players and players. It's not like NFL where your Super Bowl team leaves and you have no complete chance of going back. The foundation got players that's been breeded and coached for 3 years sitting there, especially the red shirt guys. So I'm taking Georgia plus 2.5. I think Georgia actually wins this game on the low, but I'm taking them plus 2.5 to be super safe. I'm going to go ahead and say this 30 super lock. I think Georgia going to win the game, but 2.5, if you can get 2.5, this should be cakewalk. I was going to do 3.5, but I said 2.5 should be fine. They're not going to lose by more than a field goal. Nah, they're used to this stadium, used to this building, that Georgia might win this game. So we're going to take Notre Dame at Georgia plus 2.5. Let's get into the next one. All right, y'all. Next pick, sticking with the second college football game, Duke and Ole Miss. We taking Duke and Ole Miss under 54.5. I think the line is at 51 or 52. No, it's actually at 51, I believe. But the line, if you go back and look where the line opened up at, it opened up at 52.5, and it then dropped down a whole 1.5, which is a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot. And it's because Duke playing with a third string quarterback. So I don't see Duke scoring over 15 points. And even with Ole Miss potentially scoring 30 points, I don't see them going over 54.5. So I could have took it at the 51.5 where the line is at. But as always, like I said, we bump it to be safe. So we're taking Duke and Ole Miss under 54.5. Like, I just don't see. I mean, Duke's defense is not the worst defense in the league. You get what I'm saying? In college football, their offense is gonna be sputtered because they got a third string quarterback. So it should be a nice and chill game. You know what I mean? I thought about taking Duke. I thought about taking Ole Miss with the spread. But 17, you know me, man, I always do correlated picks. So for me to take a 17-point spread in a game that I'm going to consider that I believe is going to go under, I just don't think that helps the minus 17 spread. You get what I'm saying when you're talking about points. So I definitely decided to take the under in the game instead. So it's Duke and Ole Miss under 54.5. Let's get into the next one. Hey, y'all, next pick, jumping over to the NBA, we got Celtics and Minnesota Timberwolves under 223.5. I think the line is 219 or I think it's 221. I could have took it there, but as always, like I said, we bumped the line just to be super safe. You can't bump the line under 221 straight too. Last time they played in Boston, the score was like 212. And honestly, I think that's a little high. I think this game is finna have it's finna be very like playoff type atmosphere, or finals, because they different conferences, finals type atmosphere. Now the Timberwolves aren't as good as Boston, but Anthony Edwards thinks they are because of, last year in the run they had. But I just don't think people, like I knew that. I've been surprised at how bad they've been defensively because of Cat is gone. But I knew their offense would take a hit. You're talking about a guy that's a 25-point scorer on any given night, stretch the floor with the 3-ball, big man, can drive, can finish, can assist. And he plays a little defense. He's not the worst defender. But I just didn't think I didn't think the defense would get that bad. But I think they're gonna rise to the occasion against Boston tonight. I'm not saying they're gonna win the game, but I think it's gonna be tough. It won't be no blowout tonight for sure. That's a fact. So as long as I feel like a game isn't gonna have blowout potential, because when you got a game that got blowout potential, the unders could be killed, man. Because them, I don't like to say garbage players, but them guys get in the game at 8 minutes in the fourth quarter, and they're playing to keep their contract. So they're hustling, they're sliding their feet, they're running plays, they're playing defense, they lighting up shots, getting up threes, getting to their middies. They score pretty quick when it's not the regular guys in there because they're not used to being out there. They antsy. But yeah, man, we're gonna take the under 223.5 in that game. I just think that it's gonna be. I think Boston wins the game. They're tough at home, but Boston's a better defensive team too. Like in Minnesota plays defense too. They're just not the same defensive team. But I think against Boston, them teams they're gonna collide. I don't see them boys scoring over this. 221 should be a lot, but I took the 223.5 just to be safe. But that's that pick, man. Let's get into the next one, y'all. Next pick of the day, NBA pick. This is the part where you might wanna leave a video. You might say 30. I'm not betting with them. Listen, hear me out. Y'all know I'm a Lakers fan, right? And one of my betting rules, if you know, I hate betting on my favorite team. It's just too much emotions involved. Your judgment is skewed. You just don't have the best grasp of the game because in your mind, low-key, subconsciously, you want them to win. But we got the Portland Trail Blazers at the Lakers tonight. The line is at 9. I'm taking Lakers minus 7.5. Hear me out. If it's one thing I know about my Lakers, they're front runners. What I mean by that? They like to beat up on little teams. They like to showboat. LeBron gonna be flexing, going crazy. AD might even have a great game because everybody been on his head. It take the whole world to jump on AD for him to go on the stretch averaging 35, 12 with 2 blocks for like 3 weeks. And then he going back to regular AD. But this is the type of game I can see them going crazy and running it up. Austin Reeves connect, lighting it up from 3. D-Lo's gone, so they feel like they got fresh air. So we're going to take Lakers minus 7.5. This is just, I've seen this too many times. This is the perfect Laker game at home to run it up on the Trailblazers, who's terrible, who's like one of the worst teams in the league, honestly. So we're taking Lakers minus 7.5. Let's get into the next one. All right, y'all. Last pick of the day, Nets at Bucks. We're taking Damian Lillard under 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So the Bucks are like 14-point favorites, and they didn't really snap it to it. Ever since that NBA Cup, they've been playing lights out. Well, I say Giannis been going crazy. Bobby Portis always gonna do his thing. Dame gonna do his thing. Chris Middleton back. But Brook Lopez, y'all know they got a great team or whatever. But Dame just doesn't always play his best against Brooklyn. I don't know if it's how they guard him or how they play him, but he just, his plus minus, he's not very productive against them. And I'm leaning towards that unproductive side. Not saying they're not gonna win the game because they could blow him out. I hope they blow him out so Dame doesn't have to play much minutes. But Chris Middleton is back, so you got less shots, less usage rate. Because a lot of times, man, Dame will defer to Chris Middleton. We know he defers to Giannis, but he'll get to Chris Middleton and post up. Like, I think that, for Dame to have been there a little while now, he still, internally struggles with his identity on the team. If it's not a big game, an NBA Cup game, or a playoff game, he just doesn't seem as into it. I don't know what's going on. He just doesn't seem as like Giannis' motor is always on, no matter what. Down 30, up 50, Giannis' motor is always running. Dame has become very just cool and chill. You know what I mean? He's very laid back. Even Chris Middleton got that laid back feel to him, but he'll go. Sometimes you got to get Dame going. Dame, I feel like the last couple of years, Dame has gotten into more complaining with the ref. He didn't do none of that in Portland. He didn't do all that. He's a different type of player. He's still great. He's still Dame. I like him. People that think I don't like him because I take the under. That's not the case. I'm a sports bettor. I know how these things go. So we're going to take him under 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I just don't see him having to do this. And also, I think he has a tough time against Brooklyn at times. I don't know if he got to chase Cam Thomas around or just the way they play or whatever, but he just doesn't seem to have career nights against Brooklyn. Not saying he needs a career night, but I just don't see him covering this line, man. So last pick of the day, Damian Lillard under 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'm going to put all the picks up here, man. We went 2-3 yesterday. We're trying to go 5-0 today. Man, I really like these picks today, honestly. Like, out there, super lock is Georgia plus 2.5. Nobody can tell me different. Georgia gonna win the game, trust me. Screen record it, take a picture, show me later. 30 said Georgia gonna win the game, man. But until next time, man, I'm gonna catch y'all in the comments. 30 out.